the Biden presidency, for all intents and purposes, is done. His legislative agenda is over. The GOP is going to stop and stymie everything he tries to shove down their throats now in a way that they only dreamed of being able to do for the past 2 years. Think of all that he's done. Think of the Inflation Reduction Act and how Build Back Better kept coming back in one form or another. The crazy far left green agenda. The reason we're in this, as you know, inflationary spiral, for one of the main reasons is they're overspending. There was nobody there to stop it. And there was nobody there to really challenge it in any meaningful way. Maybe we'll finally find out how COVID started and prevent another pandemic if somebody actually looks into it like they'll do in the House. Maybe we'll find out what's happening along the southern border. Maybe we'll find out whether Joe and Hunter actually did commit some sort of fraud or other inappropriate dealings in their overseas excursions. I don't know, but I'd love to have answers. And a willing Congress is part of that equation. So that's all the good news as I see it. Yeah, I spread misinformation in their view because I raised doubts that all facts were being disclosed by the SFPD. That's insane. The New York Times has lost its mind. It no longer recognizes what journalism is. We get paid to be skeptics. That's literally our business. It used to be cherished and revered, and the people who work for the New York Times used to do it. How the question is not why am I raising doubts? The question is why aren't they?
Right.
The police, by their own admission, were standing right there when this guy took out his hammer and attacked the 82-year-old Speaker of the House's husband. Why didn't they do anything? Why weren't they more alarmed? Did they know it was the Speaker of the House? Is it true that he actually walked toward the attacker and away from the cops, as the NBC News report suggested, but then that report expired without any explanation? I have questions, and most people do. That doesn't make me a purveyor of misinformation. How dare they lump me in with those conspiracy theorists who raise questions about the guy's sexuality? I did nothing of the kind. I resent the implication, and the Times has disgraced itself yet again. And guess what? They found very different answers than were in the police's original story. To me, it sounded like the cops are trying to make themselves look better, because I was not the only person saying they look like idiots. How did they show up at this house without their guns drawn after they got a distress call from the Speaker of the House and lollygagged around long enough to let the guy hit him in the head with a hammer right in front of the cops? Now they clearly leaked to Miguel Almaguer at NBC, hey, here's what really happened. He didn't say he was the husband of the Speaker. He opened the door himself. When we got there, he didn't rush into our arms. He turned and walked away toward the attacker. And by the way, they were in there for 22 minutes before we even got there, and we don't know what was going on. That's what Miguel's report said. Clearly, they got pressure to pull it. I would venture to guess it's from Pelosi's office. And somebody over there folded, because that report was not pulled for any discernible reason other than, oh, we had second guesses about our source. I worked at NBC. I know what those Today Show reports go through before they hit the air. They have to go through standards and practices and a bunch of lawyers who go through it line by line to make sure that you're okay. Guarantee you that happened before the Miguel piece hit. It wasn't until after, when something else happened, that suddenly they had second doubts and second guesses. And the real question, Eric, is where's the rest of the press? Yeah. Why isn't the rest of the press asking these questions? No one doubts the guy got attacked. The question is, what was wrong with SFPD in the moments before the attack that led them to be so lackadaisical?